Today I'm going to talk about twin flames and sex. And the main reason for this is because that's probably the biggest indicator if you are in a twin flame connection or not. Hi, my name is Rita Simon and I had two twin flame connections. In the very first one, I was the twin flame runner, while in the second one, I was the twin flame chaser. So I have a very deep understanding of both types, and when I could actually connect these two parts of myself, I integrated the runner and the chaser. I had a Kundalini awakening nearly 4 years ago. The twin flame runner and the chaser actually experience the relationship very differently during a twin flame connection. And of course, every single experience is going to be different because we are all individuals. I'm just sharing my own experiences in order to help you to find something that you can relate to. And what I can tell you is that there were two things that were exactly the same during my two twin flame connections. The first one was actually during the meeting. So when I met my twin flame, I didn't even see the person very specifically. I knew nothing about the other person. I just felt like an energetic pull coming out, and it was like the aura or our energy synced and it linked. I even call it an energetic bond. And the second thing that was exactly the same during both experiences, that actually during sex, that I could feel that energetic bond, and in a way that my senses or my nervous system became hypersensitive, but only to that one single person. And it could be felt during when we were together. There were differences in every other aspect between the runner and the chaser, and I'm going to actually explain them as well. During my very first twin flame connection, I was the runner, and that was in 2007. And the runner is a more heady person who is more detached from the internal part, from the emotions. So it took me actually quite a long time to even be with that other person. So it wasn't as instant compared to when I was the chaser, because I had many questions. I had a lot of inner block. I didn't really want to do it. I wasn't really sure. And the whole experience was during the relationship is like a push and pull. I really wanted, but as soon as the other person got close, I wanted to run away. It was too much. That was the emotional part of it. And when we were together, the experience was that everything was so exciting. So it was about excitement, getting a lot of energy just because I was with that other person. But now that I can actually compare these two versions, the runner and the chaser, it wasn't as emotional. So I was very crazy about the person, but we weren't connected that much. And the real relationship, or I call it real relationship, was actually when I was the chaser and this was another guy who was the runner. And that was a very, very deep connection. The experience was completely different. I actually felt very anxious, so a lot of anxiety came up. This is actually the anxious preoccupied attachment style, and I felt calm when he was next to me. So even when we were in bed, the experience was completely the opposite, that instead of lots of excitement, actually I became very, very peaceful and calm with that person. But there was another interesting part to it. So I don't really know if it was because I already had a relationship and I changed, or maybe if you are a chaser already, this is how you experience it. I cannot know that. So this was my second twin flame connection, and it felt like when we were in bed that our energy connected. So I got his energy connected to mine, and it's like immediately doubled, and it's like 4 times, 6 times, and it just went up and up and up. So it's very, very intense, and it's like your whole body, mind and soul and everything just connects and emerges. It was a very completely different experience. It's like your energy, you cannot separate yourself from the other person. While when I was the runner during the very first relationship, I didn't experience this connection. I actually just wanted to be with that person, but I didn't feel this attachment. It was more like I was just excited. So it was like something very interesting, something very good, and everything felt more intense with that person. But this very deep emotional connection and energetic connection, it wasn't there. And when I was the twin flame chaser, I actually really experimented with these energies as well. That if he was at certain positions, how that felt, how my energy changed. And the energy was the strongest when we were actually side by side. And it felt like when he was in front of me, like first of all, when he hugged me, it's like all the problems just stopped. The whole world just stopped existing, and I felt whole. And that was just such an amazing experience. And also at the same time, it was like this energetic bond connected to him, and I could channel his emotions. Even when he wasn't talking to me, I could literally feel every single thing he felt when he was in front of me. And even later on, when he was like 30-40 kilometers away from me, I could still feel his emotions. And the reason I'm saying this is to understand these very two types of people, because the avoidant is actually, as I said, a heady type person who likes newness, and when he or she tries something new, there is a lot of excitement about it, and that's exactly what I experienced during that relationship. Very exciting, lots of spark. It was just really great. Why when I was a chaser, it was completely different. It wasn't about like spark, it's a very deep emotional and also energetic sexual connection where your whole body just fires up, and you cannot really separate yourself from the other person, because anything that the other person experiences get channeled into you. And one thing as a final note was exactly the same during these two, that whatever energetic bond was felt, I used to call it an addiction, but it's really an addiction to the other person. There is something you feel, it cannot be explained, but it can be felt during sex. And it's exactly the same all the time. It never changes. The only change that can happen, it becomes even stronger. So you feel like you are locked in with that person, and it was exactly the same. That feeling, I can't really explain it. You have to experience it with both people, and I never seen anything even similar with any other type of relationship. And during the second one, when I was a chaser, I actually had even I would say like a more hormonal or chemical trigger as well, because I felt always like I'm in cloud 9. So like lots of hormones and neurotransmitters just got pumped into my head. So it made me even more addicted to that other person. And the only thing that really changed this experience was when I actually had my Kundalini awakening, and this extra energy, this energetic connection, anything that I felt kind of outside of me, that became a part of me, and I always felt whole. And the interesting thing about it is that when you actually look into twin flame connections, they actually say that your chakra system is going to be connected, and your chakras are actually your energetic centers. And the truth is that when you actually have a Kundalini awakening, this line, the Kundalini line, alongside with the chakras, that becomes very active. So I would say I personally experienced what they are talking about in the scripts. And exactly because of this very strong chemistry and very intense connection, these relationships can be very dangerous because they are going to be abusive. There is a very strong pull together in the body, in the impulses and where the emotions are. But at the same time, on the head level, you are going to be opposite. And this is where the abuse is coming from. This is where the runner and the chaser duality is. Because in reality, you have the same insecurity, but it's expressed in two different ways. So in the head, you are different. That's why you behave differently. That's why you react to the same problem differently. But in reality, what you see outside of you, you twin flame, that's actually inside you, but in an underdeveloped form. So you are overcompensating on one side while your twin flame is overcompensating on the other side. And the healthy person is going to be the combination of the two. So when you know how to look, it can help you integrate these integrated parts within you. And when you are with your twin flame, your relationship is going to be even better, and even the sex is going to be even better, because you are going to skip these fights and these love and hate cycles, and you become calm. And when you are calm, you can become more connected to the other person, and at the same time more connected to you as well. So the experience what you are going to have with your twin flame is going to be even more wonderful without the drama. See you in my next video.